Hey guys, Sam from Frameshift here. We're going to do another full tutorial here where we're going to take this room designed by Liaigre in New York, and we're going to try to redesign it using the same products but using AI. So we're going to take this room, we're going to take the products, and we're going to empty it, and then we're going to re-input them and see what we can do. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to hit add new room here. Liaigre NYC, we're going to upload the room, 15 Hudson Yards. Here is the room, and we are generating the dynamic floor plan in the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to empty the room up here, which is essentially going to remove all the furniture. So we have a floor plan generated here where we're seeing this kind of curvature. Okay, so here's our empty room. So this floor plan, as you saw last time, it's not exact. And I'm wondering if I'm going to redo this. I think I'm going to redo this. So up here, we're going to hit regenerate the floor plan, and we're going to wait and see what that looks like. So it's a bit more clear which direction we're looking at things. And there's going to be cuts in this video to make it shorter while we're waiting. So that's just a reminder. All right, this makes a lot more sense here. So you can see that we have our furniture in here, we have rugs, accessories, wall art, floor lamps, table lamps, all these things dynamically were added in there. So now we've got that chair that just finished. So just hit that refresh button if these things aren't appearing in your products list. So now we're just going to start placing them based on the room, which is going to be this one. And we'll just cycle between this to look and see where things are going to go. Based off of this. So let's just bring in the rug first. And okay, so here, this rug, this didn't dynamically create the proper top-down image. And so you can see that happen here too. So what we're gonna do is just we're gonna regenerate top-down view, which costs 2 credits. Show top-down view. Thin line shape should be rectangle. You don't have to do this, like, you can essentially tell it exactly what you want, and oftentimes with the rugs, I just remember to tell it straight top down view and make it look the shape of a rectangle. So that's going to operate. Then we're going to do that on this one too. Show top down view. Actually, we got to wait for the other one to work first. But most of these worked. This one needs to be redone as well. So we will fix those as we go. All right. So it regenerated it again, but it did not make it a square or rectangle. So all right, so we're gonna let that run for a second. It's kind of a annoying little thing that sometimes we have to deal with, but essentially we're just gonna put this in for now, and we're gonna, yeah, it's quite annoying that this is the wrong section here, but we are just going to use it like that for now. Okay, so it worked quicker this time. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's try it one more time. It's going to get the idea that that rug is there. So let's just start placing furniture now. Blue linen sofa, look at that. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, the rug regenerated. What does it look like? Okay, that's better. Here we go. Now we're looking like an actual floor plan here. So when I put the rug down, what I like to do is get it properly sized, and then we're just gonna hit lock, and that's gonna lock this rug, because we're gonna be putting stuff on top of it, and you don't want to keep clicking it. So locking is a good way to just prevent you from clicking that all the time. And then you can just hit this to unlock, or hit this to unlock if you want to move it. So let's see, what do we got here? Okay. So ottoman, yeah, you can see that one we could regenerate too. It's not showing the top down, but we'll leave that for now. And then we're gonna do the bench, which looks good. Curved, put that right there. And then we're going to put the chairs here, which we could maybe reduce it in size a bit. And then you can hit this duplicate button for that. Maybe we reduce the size of this sofa a bit on here. And then what do we got? These tables are over here. Again, not a top-down view, but that's okay. We'll leave that for now. And then I believe this side table was in between these two. We've got this lounge, which should be kind of right here. This, I believe, was right next to it. So we're gonna regenerate this show top down view. Fig tree behind it in front of that. You have to wait for that. Tripod floor lamp is going to be over here. This table lamp is going to be on top of that table. And what we're going to do is give this some instructions. So custom render hint, you can give instructions. So it already knows it should sit on a table. So, when you put that near a table, it's going to assume that it's on top of the table. But we can also say sits on top of side table. Okay. So let's put this to last 30 minutes. And we're going to regenerate this. What are we missing here? Side table, which we've added. Okay, let's put that there. And then we have another one of these side tables here. And that should be pretty much everything. So it's actually a fair amount of products, so we're going to see how this goes. What are we missing here? Frame gallery. Okay, so let's turn this here, and we're just going to put that right there. Sometimes the art doesn't like to show the top-down view because it would just be a line essentially. So you can just assume, put it against the wall here. It's gonna know, wall art is gonna know that it should be mounted on the wall here. This placement type is very important. So if you somehow bring in a piece of art that you want on the wall and it gets into this furniture collection, it shouldn't, but sometimes that happens and you're wondering why, just come to placement type and make sure that mounted on the wall is set. And if you wanted this art to go against the wall but sit on the floor, then you could switch it to this, and it would know to lean it up against the floor. So let's render and see what happens. The point of the software, remember, is not to be exact. We are ideating quickly, creating quick imagery based on real products that you find online, and creating a photorealistic room, but nothing's going to be exact. This isn't replacing a full 3D model. This sits in between the ideation phase and the 3D model phase if you do that. It sits nicely in the middle where you can create a realistic room with real furniture in a matter of 20 minutes. Every time we render here, it's going to be started from scratch. So what I like to preach is render a bunch of times. And with our new credit system where we bumped the credit cost per render from 10 to 5, credits aren't going to run out as fast. So don't be stingy with hitting generate here. So I like to just go through all of them. Generate, generate. And these are all different prompt types that may get you different results. So you might tend to want to start using one. All right, we're back. Just had to investigate a bit of a technical issue here with some of these failures. We're going to add some better language to some of these failures, which do occur sometimes where we're throwing a lot of images and instructions to the AI, and sometimes the AI doesn't agree. And generally what to do there in those situations is to maybe remove a product or two, test, see if there's any improvement, and go from there. So while we were gone, I just did a bunch of renders in this room, and you're going to see that, a lot of them aren't very good. And so you have to, move things around a little bit, and you have to add a style instruction here, which is essentially just another helper prompt, which is up here in the style thing where I said red bench facing the two white lounge chairs with a white ottoman in between, referencing this bench, this ottoman, and these chairs. And then just please generate only one image, because sometimes it does generate like a super vertical photo with 3 images in one image, which you'll see. All right, so let's get into some of these results here. We're just going to pan through. So this is one of our first results, which wasn't actually bad. And then this one sort of brought in some random products here, so we're going to delete. This one, again, coming from a different angle, not very good. It's just best to clear out some of these results that aren't too good here. So here's an example of a one where I did 3 images in one, which we don't want. And some of these images were done before I put the style input there, and before I took away a couple products on the floor plan. So this one isn't bad, actually. So we're going to keep that. This one is just kind of a made-up room here. So essentially, what we're trying to do is find an image that's pretty good, pretty close to what we want, and then we can fine-tune it in studio mode. So you can see here, this is a 2-pass P3 refined, which is the 10 credit cost render. Came out with a pretty close result to what we wanted. And we're going to be happy with that because this is quite a tricky image with a lot of products. And we're going to move this into the gallery by just hitting this button here, which is image sent to gallery. And then we're going to start editing it. So we're going to head over to the gallery here, and you're going to open up the image. And this is, now we're in studio mode, which is essentially where we edit, where we fine tune. So the one thing to note when you are editing, the more you edit, the more the quality of the photo is going to decrease. Currently, that's just the way it goes. As we get out of beta and we progress a little bit more, hopefully we'll be able to improve that. But for now, that's just something to be aware of. Another tool we're going to try to do is we're going to hit chat, and then we're going to give it a reference image. So we're going to accessorize the ottoman like in the attached image. And then we're going to give it a reference image of what the ottoman actually looks like. So we're going to give it that image, and then we're going to hit generate, and we'll see what that gives us. Because it's AI and because it doesn't listen to exactly what you want, you kind of have to play with your images. You have to do it a bunch of times and see what best result you get. Sometimes it's not going to work, and that's sort of the name of the game with AI right now. In V2 later this year, I would imagine we're going to have a lot better control with the AI, and that's when Frameshift is going to get better. So in general, we started from this image, and now we have this. It's not an exact match, but it's a pretty good representation of how we can transform a room with AI using specific products. Some other quick tools. Let's click out of move tool. We're gonna hit, let's go golden hour, and we're gonna unclick chat. So we've hit golden hour as our time of day, and we're just gonna hit generate. See what happens there. And then we're gonna hit night, and we need to wait for that to finish. Okay, so what did we get here? Golden hour, which is cool, and which is really cool. And then we're gonna do a nighttime generation as well, which gives us a nighttime view of New York City with the lamp on. That's a bit bright, and it looks like it added a little bit of a lamp over the art, which is cool because we don't have any actual lights on the ceiling in this image. But very, very cool how we start from something like this to transitioning to golden hour and then to nighttime. And another cool thing that we could do would be to create a video, and we could make it a horizontal video. And we're going to do a time lapse from day to sunset to evening. Stationary camera. Can't type. Okay. And now that's running in the background too, so we're going to get something similar to this, but in a video, in an 8-second video, which is going to be cool. The video takes longer than the images, of course, so you have to be patient with that. So you can see all of our new images are in this gallery mode here. And what you can do in the gallery mode is just, if you like an image, you can favorite it, and that will add to your starred only status. So this would be sort of like your good images if you want to organize them that way. They're also going to be tagged automatically, so you can search for certain things like warm colors, for instance, or living room, and that will automatically sort through things if you're looking for something. And then you can also sort through images, find your videos only, that sort of thing. And you can also sort through images that were generated directly from the layout versus images that were generated from edits from Studio, and then also direct uploads. And you can also sort by your project in layout mode. So in layout mode, we have this Frameshift AI project that we're using. And here you can go Frameshift AI, and that's going to be related to any room in that project. Okay, so we've got a video Very, very cool. It didn't listen exactly to our stationary camera, but still, it's pretty sweet. All right, that's it. We're gonna sign off here, and we will have more tutorials coming soon. Thanks.